Hello, everybody. Welcome back again. I hope everybody's doing good today. Well, today I am going to make some tassels. And what I have done is just pulled out a few bits and bobs and lace pieces and yarns and things that I've got in a color, trying to kind of color coordinate everything really good. I may have to press that. So what I want to use around the outside of my tassel is this piece of trim. And this piece of trim has a little bit of rust and some gold and some kind of like a sage green. So just looking at that, I pulled some things that I think might go with it. This is some my new Sari silk pieces I just got in the mail. And so there's a gold. That one's kind of rust and black. Look at this. I love this one. I think that is so cool. It's even got sequins in it. We'll use a piece of that. I may use this color here on my seam binding and maybe that green. I haven't decided. I've also got this trim here, which is in the exact correct color. And then I've got this metallic eyelash and then this fun fur. So anyway, let's just put all these together and see what we can come up with. Okay, so what I have done is I have just went and pulled out a bunch of fibers and pieces, and I've cut them all roughly 12 inches because I want my tassel to be about 6 inches when it's done. So you can make them any size you want to. You can put these in any order that you want to, and you can rearrange them, a little bit, even once it's kind of together before you really tighten it. So there's a lot of different ways of doing this. This is just one way. I mean, it certainly is probably not the best way, but it's one way of doing it. So what we are going to do, I'm going to gather up all these pieces together in the middle. And I'm kind of making sure some of the ones I really want to be visible are still on the top. Okay, so I'm just going to gather all these up roughly in the middle, and I'm going to hold it with my hand, and now I'm looking at the two ends. I don't care if some pieces are really long. I didn't cut them all exactly, but I did give myself about an extra inch just in case, so I can go back and trim it later. Now, I'm using a copper wire, and this is 18 gauge. Let me make sure. Yes, it's an 18 gauge wire. It's pretty strong and I want it to hold. So I put my wire through. Now I've done tassels a different way too, but this is just one. This is one of the ways. So I put my wire through the center of the loop, and then what I want to do is I want to wrap this just a couple of times because, like I said, this is a pretty strong wire. It ain't going nowhere. Okay. Now, that's going to hold all of that together for right now. So I want this guy to go straight up, and this guy, you can actually just, let's see if I can show you what I'm doing. Take this and just continue wrapping it around the bottom, kind of turn it into a little, kind of like a little bead cap. See, I'm just wrapping that in, or I could have cut it off, but I'm just going to wrap to make it pretty. And in the meantime, I am bending this one more than I want it to be. Okay, that's about as far as I can go comfortably. So I'm just going to push that little end down right there. Okay, so here's what we've got so far. We've got a beautiful tassel. We've got a wire coming. I'm just straightening it. I'm just making it a little bit straighter than it was. Okay. Woo. Like it already. Now we are going to embellish it a little bit. Now I took this wire, which is a very bendable, flexible. I don't know the gauge on it. It came like that. I don't see any gauge written on there. But it's aluminum and it's very, very flexible. I decided to take a piece of it. You can use thread, you can use anything, but I decided to do this part with this wire. So I'm just wrapping, round and round she goes, round and round and round. And then when I get to where I'm happy with it, I'm going to twist it a couple of times, and I'm going to lay those ends down, which we will cover later, but just for now. Like I said, this is a very soft wire. You can do every bit of that just with your hands. I'm going to lay that down there. Okay, so that's just kind of securing the top just a little bit. Now we get to start building this part and decorating it all up. So now what we need is some beads. Okay, so here's some beads that I have pulled, and see where I wire wrapped that? I have this bead here that has a really big hole, and I am going to slide that right over that little wire wrapped place that I did. That worked pretty good, actually. I'm happy with that. Oh, I like that. Okay, so let's see. I really want to use this, but I have a feeling I don't have enough wire. So note to self, cut your wire a little bit longer than I did, because I think I'm going to run out of space before I get everything on there. That's the way I want it. Well, you know what? That'll work. I can make that work. That's enough. Okay, so I'm going to take some round nose pliers, and we are going to, I'm holding all this down securely, holding it down to the bottom. We're going to hold on to it right there and bend that over to the right. And now I could trim that and make it smaller, but I'm not gonna. I'm going to go up on my pliers instead of doing it here. I'm going to go up to here so that I can have a pretty big loop, because who knows what I might want to do with this one. I don't know yet. All right, so I've got a loop, and then I'm just closing it and straightening it up a little bit. So there's a loop at the top to hang it from. So far, what do you think? I think it's pretty. I like it. Okay, let's put this back up. Now, what I wanted to do with this, and sometimes what I want to do doesn't work, so if it doesn't, we'll do something else. But I'm thinking if I wrapped that around and left a tassel hanging here and maybe one on the back, yes, I think that will work. Okay, let's find some. I'm going to cut it about right here. Okay, so what I have, I've got one tassel. I'm going to see how far around that goes. Then I'm going to decide how to do the rest of it. All right, so I'm going underneath that flat bead with this fringy stuff with a tassel. I'm going to go all the way around my tassel. And, okay, so we're going to cut it about right there. Might let it overlap just a hair just to make sure that it is secure. I cut it, but I didn't cut all of it. Okay, now the reason I haven't glued that down yet is because, see, I've got a tassel on this side. I want a tassel on this side, and I want to glue part of the tassel up under there. So, and let's get all these little freebie peoples. Let's get you out of the way. Okay, now I'm going to take this tassel, and I tell you what I've learned about tassels. These threads that hold these tassels in go all the way up in there. So if you cut on each side without cutting that thread, cut on each side of it, sometimes, watch it not work. Yep, it worked. Sometimes you can just pull. Now, so what I have done, I now have the ends of this tassel in my hand right here. I'm holding on to it between my fingers. And sometimes this just helps me. So do this with caution. Hot glue gun, a very well, look at that. It's terrible. A very well-loved hot glue gun. Sometimes, oh phooey, well, it would help if that glue gun was on. And it's not. And I'm not going to wait for it to heat up. But what I was going to say is I put a little bit of glue on there and kind of just stick those ends together. And that's just to make sure that tassel doesn't fall off of the string before I'm ready for it to. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this glue on there. And then I just kind of take it and just smash it together. See what I'm doing? So it's just kind of sticking together. That way I'm not I don't want to lose that off of there. Now I want this guy to go up in there, up underneath the edges of this part. So that's why I waited. I could even add more tassels if I wanted to, but I think I'll start with 2 on here. Okay, that one's about gone. Let's try this glue and see if we can go ahead. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take my tassel out of there. Okay, now I'm going to put my glue. I'm using 3-in-1. I've got 3-in-1, Fabri-Tac, Fabri-Fix. It doesn't matter. They all work very good. And I'm just going to make a big mess. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put some glue here and here and here. Da, 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 da. Okay, kind of like that. Now, let's get the glue off my hands, put the tassel back in there where I want it to be. And before I close up the 2 edges, make sure they're glued real good, I'm going to put this guy back up in there. And I'm kind of looking at my other one to see how high up it is so that they're about the same and approximately straight across. I say approximately because, you know, from the other one, like this one's on the top, that one's on the bottom. I can feel the knot of that other one under there. So if it's not exactly straight across, it's pretty close. And in the meantime, your glue drips everywhere. Even though I put a little pinhole in there so it doesn't come out as fast as it used to if you don't put a pinhole. But okay, now, so let's close this up really good. That's way too much. Too much. And we'll let that dry. All right, so now we have to give him a little haircut because few little hairs here and there. But as you can see now, all that wire wrapping that I did, it's all covered now. You don't see anything anymore. And when the glue dries, it'll be a lot better. I may have to trim just a little. Ugh, I don't want that glue on these scissors either. There we go. Now, I pulled this bead out a while ago because I thought, oh, wouldn't that make a great tassel topper? That's what I'm going to call them, a tassel topper. All right, the glue is starting to dry. It's starting to set. And I see a little thing sticking out right there. Okay, now, all right, so as you can see, there's a tassel on that side. There's a tassel on that side. Like I said, we could add more. I am going to trim those in a minute. All right, I'm just going to make sure we're good and dry. Now, I also pulled out these beads, and I don't know for sure what I'm going to do with them, if anything, but I just wanted to see if I even overlapped that and added those. Ooh, what do you think about that? That's kind of cool too, with that hanging. The only thing is it covers up that. I probably should have put these on the bottom. Note to self, put that on the bottom next time. What about this? Look at this. This is kind of it's a fringe, but it's eyelashy, but the color is exactly the color green of that first piece that we started with. I would love to use it too. Where? Okay, what if we pick up the tassels that we just added? What if we pick those up and sneak this up underneath? How would that look? I don't know if I like that. I love the color. And I could wrap it around here too. And it would be really cute, but it's going to cover up that part. See? Looky. But, oh gosh, that's cute too. Okay, we're going to have to do it. I didn't want to cover up that part, but I'm going to have to because that's going to really look good. Okay, so let's just measure around about to there and cut and move. And we get to do the glue again. Oh boy, I know y'all were looking forward to that part, right? And it's still coming out over here, even though I had the lid on it. It's still doing its own little thing. Okay, let's see if I can get that in there. Okay, now then. Okay, now get that off of me. All right, so where did I end up? See, here's the back where I ended up before. So I think I'll start that back as the front. So it'll be a little kind of opposite. All right, and now I'm going to wrap this one around and glue it down. I liked this because it's a little wild and crazy. It's a little hairs everywhere, you know, kind of thing. I have fun, y'all, when I create, when I make stuff. I have fun, and I hope y'all have fun when you're watching my tutorials. I hope I make you laugh, and I hope I brighten your day. So we all need a little joy in our lives, for sure, for sure. Okay, now I'm looking down here at the bottom, and you can leave these all ski-watchy if you want to. They do not have to be the same. You can have it any way you want to. It's your tassel. And that looks good enough to me. All right. Now, a minute ago, I cut all these little threads and stuff but this particular fringe, they come out the top and the bottom, and I think it just adds to the beauty of the tassel. Okay, so far so good. Let's bump it up a notch and add some dangles. Okay, so what I have here is some copper colored chain. I have a thing for copper colors. I love coppery stuff. And these are some dangles that I have previously made, and I just pulled out 3 that looked very, very good with that, and some jump rings. So I'm going to need 3 jump rings to go for those 3, and then 1 to hang the whole shebang together. So what I'm going to start with is a little bit of chain, and I'm going to be attaching this somewhere up in here. So I'm just kind of guessing. I'm kind of just guessing. Now you can open your chain if you want to, and that way you don't lose a link. I got a roll of it. I'm not worried about losing a link, if you know what I mean. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a jump ring, and these are pretty heavy-duty jump rings. They're pretty strong. I don't like a flimsy jump ring. I want to know when I make something that it is going to hold securely. All right, so I got my jump ring in there, and I am gonna put this guy there. All right, other pliers, where are you? And then we're just gonna close it like so. Remember, you go past where you want to go and then back up. Okay, now, so there's one hanging on the end of my chain. All right, let's take another jump ring, and it's small, but it's strong, very strong. I don't know what the gauge is, but it's a good one. Okay, next I want the gold one, and I want him to dangle about right there. So put the gold one on and close. Okay, good deal. And then the top one needs to dangle about right there. All right, let's open this jump ring, put this guy on, and hook him up toward the top a little further. All right, and then let's close that jump ring. Ta-da! Now, I'm going to take my bigger one This is a bigger jump ring, still pretty strong and bigger. And I'm going to go in the very top chain. There, let's see that glue all over my hands. I went in that very top chain there. And now I've got to find a place to hang this. And I'm kind of considering this the front. And this fringe just so happened to have loops on it, which is a good thing because I didn't think about what I was going to hang it from when I started making it. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to grab as many loops as I can. Right now I've got 2. I'm trying to get at least 3 loops. Well, hello. He was on there and then he jumped off. All right, let's put that green one back on there. All right, so I've got a few loops on there, and since that is glued in with a pretty strong glue, I don't think it's going to go anywhere. Fix that. Okay, so here's what we've got. All right, now look, get out of the way. There we go. So we've got this beautiful tassel. It's got this chain hanging down, and it's got these 3 beautiful beads. I want y'all to look at these beads. Oh, man, some of these are my faves. That right there, I don't know a whole lot about gemstones, but it was given to me, and it's some sort of a gemstone. I think it's the bomb. And then look at the gold sparkle here. That was another gemstone too, but I don't remember. And then this is just a glass bead, and then a smoky, peachy, but I just think they're gorgeous. And they look so well with this tassel. Isn't that beautiful? So I think we could call that one done. I believe we're finished. So go and try tassel making today, guys. If you haven't tried it, it's a great way to use up a lot of your supplies. You can add beads and dangles, or you don't have to add beads and dangles. If you don't want to, you can leave that part out completely. You can wrap this part with beads and chains. I mean, there's just so many fun things you can do. So go have fun with it, guys, and thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.